Every veteran has a story, and my story begins in Vietnam. Well, October '67, my mother took me to the airport, and she looked up at me and said, "Son, I'll never see you again, will I?" And I said, "Well, of course you will." Then I got on the airplane, we went to Okinawa, and when I got to Okinawa, I met my brother coming back from the PX as I was going to the PX. He was already in Vietnam when I went to Paris Island. The word came down that we had to move a platoon of Marines from Phu Bai to Hue City. We crossed the bridge going into Hue City, and it was Viet Cong everywhere. We finally got set up a compound and started sending out trucks one at a time. I was unloading the dead men and the wounded men onto my truck when the Vietnamese came out of the theater and threw a grenade under my feet. And that's when I got wounded. 38 all total, from fragment grenade and AK-47. I mean, it was just terrible. They were just everywhere. The last thing I remember was coming back to the compound and getting on a helicopter to be shipped back to the hospital ship. They told me that I probably would never walk again, and then my left arm was blown just about completely off. They restructured it and sent me back to Millington, Tennessee, in the Naval Hospital. We had good nurses, and they got up and finally started giving us rehab, and I started walking back and forth to the bathroom after that. And finally, when they sent us into what they call a casualty platoon, it was December the 4th, 1969, they sent me home waiting discharge. I went to work hauling putwood then with my brother, and I stayed working him for I guess a couple of months, and then I started mechanicking after that. I stayed mechanicking for a while and went back to truck driving. I went to the post office in 1983 it was, and I stayed there till 2000. I had a triple bypass surgery and stayed out of work for 8 weeks and went back to work. I wasn't able to work full strength, but they did have a job for me, in other words, as mail handler. In 2006, I had another triple bypass and then an aneurysm repair, and then they put the pacemaker in, well, not the pacemaker, defibrillator. The defibrillator went off in December 28th of this past year. Went off 2 times, and my health has been going downhill since then. The doctor come by and suggested that I go on hospice. He just told me that there's no way that they can do any more operations on me to help my health. He said it'd be too risky to do anything. I could go to hospice, or either keep going back to the hospital probably every 2 weeks. It was just like somebody had shot me all over again. In other words, I'm going home to die. And it hadn't been like that. In other words, they've come in and kept everything, me comfortable up to this time. It's important to me to stay at home because this is my environment. This is what I've lived in. And the Alacare Hospice does that. They make it so I can stay here. Just them coming in and seeing them really walk across my porch, it makes me feel better then, because I know they fix to come in and tell me things that they could see and I wouldn't see. They keeping me alive actually by coming and helping me, showing me how to keep myself alive. Alacare Hospice came out and they gave me 2 pins and a big certificate honoring the veterans on Memorial Day. So, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, it made me feel better, just them doing that. They know what a veteran has been through, and they try to really make them comfortable. Alacare thinks that, that they should appreciate us, which, is great, and we appreciate them for doing it.